Cable is on a mission to review this omnibus. Hello and welcome to a SMRP video. Today we are looking at the Cable Soldier X Omnibus, which was released in 2018. We have a very cool picture of Cable on there, going hardcore. And on the side, Marvel Cable, writers, I'm guessing artists. I'm not going to pretend to know this stuff, so sorry. And on the back, a man on a mission to save the future from the present. And it has 97 to 107 and 1 to 12 from the Soldier X series. So it wraps up the Cable series and it starts off this new kind of generation. And then since then we've had numerous Cable volumes with X-Force, etc. His whole arc with Hope in the future. We go a little bit there. Underneath the cover we have this beautiful picture of Cable. Very cool. Oh my goodness, that is not good. Certainly not the sort of thing that I like doing, dropping my book on the side. And then the front, we have the same picture we had on the front, which is pretty cool. And inside the dust cover we have the usual kind of synthesis or bio about the character or the series, which is pretty cool. Then we have a bit about the creators, the artists, the illustrators, which is pretty nice. And then we have a picture of Cable, I Want You. Inside we have a nice picture of Cable. Very cool. And then we have all the writers, the pencilers, the inkers, colorists, the letterers, the cover artists, the assistant editors, the editors, and some goodness over here which I will probably not read. Okay, so we have a big chunk of finishing off the original Cable series. Now I've never read this, so this bit would be new to me, but when I did read Soldier X last year, mainly because I didn't want to buy this because I didn't have the money then, so I didn't buy this for that reason. Sometimes you have other priorities in life which, you know, is more important. So I didn't go back and read these issues, but Irene kind of refers to this incident that happens here and that Cable, I think it was around this sort of time that Cable had a run with the X-Men, and then I guess he kind of went into hiding. I'm not sure how long that hiding went, but it went. So it's a nice picture. So this Cable arc I have not read. So in terms of the Soldier X kind of run, the 12 issues, from what I gather, there's a lot of fans at the time that didn't really like it. They weren't really interested in it. But that step with the Soldier X, I felt that whole, you know, I'm going to start taking matters into my own hands around the world and make changes to make the world better, leads very nicely into the Deadpool, it's the Cable and Deadpool series, which was around here building an island for everybody on Providence. So from that perspective, this book is absolutely perfect from that. He's kind of like reminds me of like a secret agent during this time, which is cool. I can't remember the ins and outs, but I remember like his first mission is around saving a girl, and the parents had been using her, or the mum was using her to cure people. It wasn't very nice, and it was all in the name of God, and you know, all that sort of stuff you would expect. So he has some run-ins with some gangs, etc., and it just seems to get deeper and deeper into more sort of trouble. So it's quite good. I did enjoy it. it's a nice little run just to read. If you got Marvel Unlimited like I do, I would just read it on that. I wouldn't potentially go and buy this, but I'll get into the reasons why I've actually brought this in a minute. So this series clearly wasn't well received, hence why it's a short little run, or maybe that's when they thought we're going to go down the Cable and Deadpool route. I'm not going to pretend to know what I'm talking about. If I remember, so she kills her parents or something like that. I can't remember if she was manipulated, but she decides to adhere to the justice system rather than Cable just freeing her and taking her home. I think in the end she ends up dying or something. Oh no, she ends up getting executed. So it's a whole moral dilemma, which you can imagine in what Nathan was doing. These things that I really do enjoy these things. At the back we got a little Dear Cable section. Yeah, he obviously had 100 issues in his original Cable run. It's quite cool. There's a whole piece here, wow. So I'm trying to decide what this is about. Maybe this is the proposal. Very nice. We got about the page, etc. Very nice. I do like looking at these things when I have a chance. And, you know, I always appreciate the extras. And then we just get this final kind of thing. Okay, so why did I buy this? So, this year we have the Cable and X-Force Omnibus coming out. And that has issues 9 to 20. Now, this Omnibus here, this finishes with the 97 to 107. And then it obviously goes into the Cable Soldier X series. So, from my perspective, if they keep rolling out potentially once a year, a Cable and X-Force volume or whatever format it wants to go, perhaps at some point we're going to have several books with the whole Cable series in it, which I would really, really dig. So that's why I've really kind of gone and got this. I mean, I did like the Soldier X. It's not something I'd write home about, but it is alright in itself. It's quite interesting. It's different. And I sometimes really dig different more than the norm X stories, if that makes sense. If something's rehashing over old ground, like the whole mutants being extinct for the second times in the Inhumans kind of war, that kind of bugged me, because it's like you've just brought them back to life and you've just gone 10 steps backwards for what? For a story that nobody's really interested in my mind, because we know how it's going to turn out. So this was pretty cool. Okay, so kind of for a comparison and kind of run through, I thought I'd get out the X-Force, Deadpool and X-Force. Then we're going to have Cable and X-Force on the next one, and then Cable, Soldier X, then Deadpool and Cable. I suspect there'll be some few omnibuses in between, but I just thought I'd run through what's in these so that you can understand where I'm coming from, where my train of thoughts, why I bought this omnibus. So X-Force Volume 1. So Cable finishes with the New Mutants, and then they become this whole new entity, X-Force. And within this, you get the Cable Blood and Metal story, which I haven't read personally. In fact, I think I've said this numerous times. X-Force, the original series, is one that I've barely read. So it starts off with the whole Cable journey here in the now with the X-Force. That then sets us up on the next journey, which has Cable 1. And it also has X-Force and his connections with Deadpool, because they were quite intertwined in the beginning. So you got X-Force 19 to 31 and Annual 2. Cable 1 to 8. Then Deadpool, The Circle Chase 1-4, Deadpool 1-4, New Warriors 31, Nomad 20. So that's the kind of next step of this whole Cable journey. And obviously, once again, very, very interlinked with X-Force as he always was. Then in the next volume, we get, in the Cable and X-Force one that's released this year, we get X-Force 32-43. And then we get Cable 9-20. As well as some New Warriors, Excalibur, Wolverine, and as there's the little Phalanx crossover that's intertwined with that volume at the time. And then obviously we go into Cable. Obviously I'm hoping we get a few omnibuses in between, where we get Cable, the finish 97-107, and then Soldier X 1-12. Followed by I really did dig his the Cable and Hope series, but this is probably the best. These two being thrown together, the banter, the craziness that is Cable and Deadpool is brilliant, and that is 1-50. So I'm hoping after talking through my thoughts on why I bought this omnibus, it kind of makes a bit more sense in hopefully the direction that Marvel is going with these, and I'm really enjoying that we are getting a continuous X-Force theme as well, because it's one that I do want to read. Haven't done it yet, but I will do very, very soon, hopefully. And I'm looking forward to getting that omnibus later in the year and just showing it off. I would say, unless you're, I guess, a real Cable hardcore fan, this may not be the omnibus for you. But if you just want a kind of standalone story to read, you don't want to know about all the other Cable stuff, you could probably read this as well at the same time. So it has its reasons for reading it and reasons not. I'm glad I brought it. I'm really happy that I got it now. Obviously I wish I'd got it last year, but you know, sometimes things happen and you have to buy it later. So thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on my Facebook page, SmurredP. Follow me on Twitter at SmurredP. No idea what I'm doing there, but check me out. And embrace the geekiness. Take care. Goodbye.